Hi, I'm Farmer Danny on the Going in the Know. So I brought you back. Sorry to keep bringing you back so often, but I swear this is the last time. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm excited.
So, what's your favorite sport to play, and what's your favorite sport to watch?
Yeah, so I'd have to say that my favorite sport to play would be track or running, and my favorite sport to watch would probably be baseball.
Nice. And tell me what got you into running.
Yeah, so in high school, and actually even before that in middle school, my family, we were all growing up. I was the oldest kid, and we were all figuring out where we would fit in terms of sports. And my dad played baseball. We tried it out, but I was never really good at it. And so I had a friend who went to my CCD class, and he invited me to a track team. And so I ran cross country in middle school. And then later on in high school, I knew I wanted to run track, and I ended up being pretty good at it. And so I ended up doing that for the rest of my high school career. And then when I went to college, my school didn't have a Division I track team, and so I ended up just kept running on my own.
Nice. And what do you like about it?
Yeah, I like a lot of stuff about it. My favorite thing, honestly, has been that I get to do it with my dad and my brother and my sister. But a lot of times whenever I go home, me and my dad will go on at least like one run. We'll run over the Bayonne Bridge in Staten Island to New Jersey. Yeah.
Nice. And how long have you been doing this for?
Yeah, I've been doing it for, oh goodness, let's see, about 12 years now, I think, yeah.
That's amazing. And what is the furthest you've ever ran in a meet?
Yeah, in a meet, not that long. If you just mean like a track meet, probably I think just a 5K was the longest. I've done some other informal races. If that's the case, then about 13 miles.
Nice. And now tell me 5 fun facts about running that you can name.
Yeah. There's loads of fun facts that you can have. For instance, do you remember last time how we talked about how there are different types of muscle cells? Thanks.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I said that some of those are a little bit weaker, but have more precise and like longer term motion.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of those you get from running long distance in your legs in particular. But if you run a lot, you can actually get a little bit weaker because you develop a little bit more of those muscle fibers, or those become a little bit more specialized for endurance. And so you lose a little bit of strength because you have more of those muscle fibers versus the bigger, dumber ones, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Another fun one might be actually that when people get older, they can actually maintain a similar speed that they had when they were a little bit younger by increasing something called lactate threshold. And that's basically just a fancy way of saying that they end up figuring out, or their bodies end up figuring out, how to maintain a higher intensity of activity by using an energy system that's more based on, that's usually used for lower intensity activity, which is your aerobic system. I think that's pretty cool. Another fun fact that you might not have known is that your feet can actually affect your hips when you run, and the rest of your body as well, even your back. And that's because the way that your foot lands, or the way that it absorbs force whenever you're running, because running is just sort of repeatedly hopping from foot to foot almost, the way that it absorbs those forces and translates those forces up your body can actually end up affecting the rest of your body, which is really cool. Another fun fact that you might not have known is that certain types of people can have different bodies that make them better suited to different types of running. So, for instance, if you were to take a biopsy, it's called, or just a cut out of somebody's muscle, and they were someone like Usain Bolt, who's like from Jamaica, you could actually see that his muscles have a whole lot of those muscle fibers I told you about earlier that are those big and strong ones called type 2 muscle fibers. But if you looked at someone from Kenya who was part of like a certain group of people there, you can see that their muscle fibers are a lot more specialized towards the first type, that where it's more of a endurance focused. You could also see that their Achilles tendon is actually a little bit longer than yours or mine might be, and that helps them to run and expend a little bit less energy than we would, because it's sort of like a pogo stick attached to their leg, where it gives them a little bit more force when they continue to run, without expending more energy from your rest of your body. And did you know, for the last fact, that you don't actually use conscious thought, or your brain doesn't actually have to do all the work when you run? Because running is a sort of repetitive motion over and over and over again, your spinal cord, which runs right over here along your spine, inside of it, actually can use something called spinal reflexes, which will sort of cycle through repetitive motions over and over again, so you don't have to use conscious thought. Your brain is still involved, though, because it needs to perform certain actions that deviate from that and also help you with balance and coordination and stuff like that. But your spinal cord is able to take off some of the slack for a lot of those repetitive motions, like running. And that's all I got for you.
Wow, that's really awesome. I actually did not know any of those. Thanks again, Dan.
Yeah.
That's all for today. Tune in next time.